We're starting on the XAU-USD gold on the 15-minute time frame. And by the time you finish this video, you'll be able to look at the chart and understand exactly what the market is doing in terms of a structure, momentum, and retracement, and then decide whether the Fibonacci approach actually fits how you trade. But before we even touch Fibonacci, there's one thing that has to be clear first. What direction is the market actually moving in? And any market price doesn't move randomly, it moves in waves. You'll always see a swing high, then a swing low, then another swing high, then another swing low. When those swings start forming higher highs and higher lows, the market is in an uptrend, and when they start forming lower highs and lower lows, they're in a downtrend. And if you can read that directly on price, you don't really need much else. Everything else on the chart is just helping you measure what price is already doing. But to keep the structure a bit more consistently visual, we can use a tool like the swing arm ATR trend indicator, set to ATR period 6 and the ATR factor 7. But this is important to understand. It's not creating direction. What it does is measuring volatility and smoothing a structure so you can see more clearly when price is expecting in one direction versus when it starts to lose momentum and shift. When the swing arm flips green and sits below price, what that's reflecting is that the market is building higher highs and higher lows. Buyers are in control of a structure. And when it flips red and sets above price, it's the opposite. Sellers are building lower highs and lower lows. But the key point is this: the indicator is not telling you the trend, it's showing you what price is already doing. Once direction is clear, we move into something more important: how price actually behave inside the trend. This is where a lot of traders get lost because they see one continuation move and assume it's random. It's not. Every trend is made up of two repeating parts: impulse waves and correction waves. Impulse waves are the moves pushing the market in the direction of the trend. They're driving by a strong participation, urgency, and momentum. And an uptrend, that's aggressive buying pushing price higher. And a downtrend is aggressive selling pushing price lower. Correction waves are the opposite. They are temporary pullbacks where the market pauses, retraces, and observes liquidity. They're not reversals. They're pauses inside the trend. So in an uptrend, you get impulse up, correction down. And in a downtrend, it's the same thing flipped. Impulse down, correction up. Impulse down, correction up. Once you can separate those two, the chart stops feeling chaotic because you're not reacting to candles anymore. You're reading phases of behavior. Now let's connect that to what we're actually seeing on the chart. When price is trading above the green swing arm band and we're printing higher highs and higher lows, the market is clearly in an uptrend. And the question becomes, how do we tell the difference between impulse and correction inside that move? And that's actually straightforward once you slow it down. The moves pushing away from the trend direction are impulses, and the moves pulling back toward the swing arm band are corrections. So if price is moving up, any downward retracement into the band is correction wave, and any move pushing away from it is an impulse wave. That direction is important because everything in the Fibonacci logic depends on isolating only one of those phases. Now we bring in Fibonacci. We're using the Fibonacci retracement tool, but not the overloaded way most traders use it. We're not interested in every level on the chart. That's usually where confusion starts. We simplify it. We only care about three levels: 0%, 38.2%, and the 161.8% extension. That's it. The reason is simple. The more levels you add, the more decisions you create, and the more hesitation you introduce. The goal here is clarity, not complexity. Now here's the most important part of the entire strategy, and this is where the most people go wrong. You don't draw Fibonacci on impulse waves, you draw it on correction waves. That's the key. So in an uptrend, when price pulls back into the swing arm zone, that pullback is your correction wave. You take the swing high of that correction and the end of the pullback, and you draw your Fibonacci across that move. What you're measuring here is how deeply the market is reacting against the trend before continuing. Now the logic behind this is what actually matters. If a correction is strong enough to retraces at least 38.2% of the prior move, that tells you something about participation. It tells you there is still enough liquidity and interest in the market for price to recover and continue in the original direction. In other words, the trend is still active. So in this system, when price closes back above the 38.2% level after a correction, that becomes your entry trigger for a long position. Not because the level itself is special, but because it shows buyers have regained control after a controlled pullback. Your invalidation point is the 0% level, which is the start of the correction wave aligned with the recent swing low. If price breaks that level, the correction is no longer just a correction, it's a structure shift. At that point, staying in the trade doesn't make sense anymore, so you exit with a controlled loss. That's the risk logic, no guessing, just a structure-based invalidation. On the upside, if the trend continues, momentum can extend beyond that prior high. That's when the 161.8% extension comes in. It's not guaranteed target, but it represents where the strong continuation wave often reach when participation stays strong. So the full idea is simple. Enter after a controlled retracement shows continuation strength, risk is defined at the structure failure, and profit is aligned with continuation behavior. Now, the same logic flipped for a sell scenario. In a downtrend, price is forming lower highs and lower lows, with the swing arm turning red and sitting above price. That tells you sellers are in control of the structure. Here, impulse waves are downward moves driven by a strong selling pressure, and correction waves are upward retracement against the trend. When price pulls back upward into the swing arm zone, it becomes your correction wave. You take the swing low of the correction and the end of the retracement, and you draw your Fibonacci from the top of that correction to down to the bottom of that move. From there, the logic stays exactly the same. If price retraces up into the 38.2% level, rejects and closes back below it, that shows sellers are still in control after a temporary pullback. That becomes your short entry trigger. If price breaks above that 0% level and invalidates the prior swing high, the structure is no longer valid for continuation. You exit immediately because the trade premise is gone. And if the downtrend continues with a strong participation, price can extend toward the 161.8% level, and the same way upward trends extend in the opposite direction. So what you should take from this isn't the Fibonacci levels or the indicator itself. It's the logic underneath it. Market moves in a structure. A structure is made of impulse and correction. And this approach is just a way of measuring whether a correction is still behaving like continuation or starting to shift into something else. Once that's clear, the entire system becomes straightforward.